Okay, well, it looks like it's 1 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and get started, everybody. Thanks for joining us again for our second quarterly Teams meeting. Just real quick, for anybody that may not know who I am, I'm Shelley Briley. I'm the SHARP coordinator for the Department of Labor SHARP program. Um, Alan Vineyard, the director for industrial safety and health. You've all met before, I think. Amy Selm has been on as well, deputy secretary. Right now, I would like to take just a minute. I want to introduce you guys to Lori Wolf. For those of you who have not met Lori, she is now the safety consultant that's working with me on Sharp Companies. Say hi, Lori. Okay. Lori is, she's been with us for a little over 5 years. She is not new to safety by any means, just a little bit new to Sharp. She's been working with me since about, I don't know, October or so, September, October. So for those of you who have not met her yet, you will be seeing her as we start coming through and doing the renewals at your place. So if you have any questions or want to contact Lori, please feel free. Let me know and I'll get you her contact information. So next, Alan, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you talk a little bit about the Workers' Memorial Week that's going on.
Sure. Thanks, Shelley. Worker Memorial Week will be the last full week of April. It has been designated as Worker Memorial Week for quite a few years now, and it is to recognize those employees who have lost their lives in a work situation, and also to bring emphasis onto employee safety to prevent these things from happening multiple times. Myself and Secretary Schultz will be at two events. One will be in Wichita at the Machinist Hall, and that will be Thursday. Let me get my date right here. Thursday, April 25th. I believe it's a 6 p.m. event. And we will be presenting a proclamation from Governor Kelly to the AFL-CIO group that hosts this meeting. And then we will also be at an event in Kansas City, Missouri on April 29th, Monday, April 29th with the Builders Association in North Kansas City. Again, we will, I believe we will have a proclamation for that event as well. We will be speaking with Missouri. Consultation will be there too. We'll both be making presentations, again, just talking about the importance of worker safety, and again, to recognize those employees who have lost their lives while working. So again, two very important events that we are always glad to be part of. We're asked every year if we would like to speak, and you know, we never turn it down because we think this is a very important event, and we think our presence there is you know, really important to show support for Worker Memorial Week and for those particular events. So anyway, if you got any questions or, you know, want to know specific details about those events, just let me know, shoot me an email, and I can get you all the details and let you know where they're at, the specifics on where they're at and what time and those types of things. So, all right, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Amy, who's going to talk about our LMIS team.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Amy Selm, Deputy Secretary. I work with the external services groups, including industrial safety and health. So one of the things we talked a little bit about was giving program participants, the SHARP program participants, information about other services and other teams that are here at the Department of Labor. So we've got a couple of things we're going to talk about. One is just talking somewhat about Kansas, the labor market information services. And what I'm going to do is share my screen, which is the LMIS website. And then we're going to take a little deep dive. We have a guest with us today, Nathan Kessler, who is one of our labor economists with the Labor Market Information Services team. And he's going to talk about specifically one report that we published this fall, and I thought might be of interest to this group. I'm happy to take questions, raise your hand, or drop something in the chat. But I'm going to go ahead and share and talk a little bit about this team. 1 second. So the screen I'm sharing with you today is the Kansas Department of Labor website. And in this corner up here, you can see Labor Market Information Services. And this is the group that really deals with mostly collecting, analyzing, reporting, publishing our economic activities. The monthly labor report, where we talk about the unemployment rate and generally economic forecasts in the state of Kansas, is done by this team. In addition to labor metrics and the labor report, they also do a lot of information and look at data for not only occupational, industry specific to your industry, various publications, general labor force and unemployment information. And then we also do surveys to companies specifically around wage information and classification of occupations. And so some of you, whether it's your own current role in your company or in a previous role, may have participated in our surveys. We also have information for job seekers and students, school counselors and educators, and lots of other information. We also can link you to Kansas Works, which is the job matching and labor market information group at the Department of Commerce. U.S. Census Bureau which has even broader data and information. The ONET, which is the online provider that gives information on detailed descriptions of the workforce for job seekers, also workforce development, HR professionals. And then, of course, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which is the main funder of our labor market information systems team. There's also Career One Stop, which is a sort of an integrated group of websites that helps job seekers, students, employers, and career professionals. All of these resources are available off the KDOL website. One of the things we're going to talk about today in our publications is a recent report that we published under Today's Occupations. And it is called Today's Occupations, a collection of high demand, high wage occupations requiring less than a bachelor's degree. One of the focuses is to make sure that we were providing basic information on available occupations in the state of Kansas and related pay. I'm going to turn this over to Nathan and let him talk a little bit about this specific publication and also give you an opportunity to ask questions about LMIS or questions about occupation, wage, or industry information that you might find interesting given your current occupation. So I'm going to go ahead and move over and share this specific publication and turn this over to Nathan.
All right, thank you, Amy, and good afternoon, everybody. It's a beautiful Friday, so I know we're all looking forward to the weekend, so I'll be brief. Amy, if you want, I can share my screen because I do have a couple of tabs that I'm going to go through, if that's easier.
Perfect.
Awesome. We'll do that then. All right, so we're going to start here with the actual report itself, if everybody can see that. So the purpose of this report was to highlight career options from the high demand, high wage occupations list for students and job seekers who are interested in pursuing routes other than a traditional 4-year degree. And while worker safety is important in all occupations, I think, the occupations listed here, it's especially applicable. So I think you'll all find this pretty interesting. The occupations featured in this report offer paths to employment that cover a range of educational attainment that includes no formal educational credential all the way up to an associate's degree. Of the 56 occupations listed in this publication, only 16 require more than a high school diploma. So these summary pages 3 through 5 provide a valuable overview of related to the data and information contained in this report. So I definitely encourage you to read over that at your leisure. High demand occupations are selected based on a score that is determined using short-term, which are 2-year projections, long-term, the 10-year projections, and current openings for each occupation. Occupations with a demand score greater than or equal to 10 are then considered a high demand occupation. For an occupation to be considered high wage, the median wage must be greater than the median wage for all occupations in the geographic region, be that statewide or one of the 7 projection regions. These wage estimates are based on data collected from Kansas employers, so higher response rates to KDOL surveys will result in better data for publications such as this one. The information, so we're going to go kind of through cement masons and concrete finishers a little bit, and we're going to look at it through the lens of ONET because that's where a lot of these, like the knowledge skills section comes from. So the information regarding all of these necessary abilities comes from ONET Online, which is a website sponsored by the U.S. Department of Labor, Employment and Training Administration. Amy touched on it a little bit. On ONET, individuals can find a wealth of information on any occupation, including wage data, task, abilities, and knowledge associated with the occupation, credential, training, and apprenticeship information, and much more. So if we just look at the overall summary for cement masons and concrete finishers, we see we've got tasks, technology skills, work activities, and so on, all the way down to being able to select your state and look for a local training area. So no programs are found right in the 66603 area code, but you get the idea there. And what's really cool is if you just want a quick overview, you can click here on Easy Read, and it takes you to the My Next Move page, which just gives you a brief overview and includes even some wage information about the occupation. So that's sort of what ONET has to offer, and that's really how we derived everything for this occupation. And if you go through, there are just several occupations that are going to be in demand as a result of increasing growth rates for the occupation, or rapid turnover or rapid retirement coming up. So a lot of different things to dig into here, and I definitely encourage you to look into it. And if there are any questions now related to the report or LMIS, I can take those. And if you don't have any now, you can reach out to kdol.laborstats@ks.gov at any time you do have questions.
Thank you, Nathan. I know this was brief, and we'd be happy to, in future meetings, go into depth on other parts of the labor market information service website, referred to as CLIC, K-L-I-C. You can get to it off of the KDOL website. But I think we've got tons of information there, lots of data that might be helpful to you in your occupation, or if you're talking with your HR team, especially on workforce development issues. But I would like to pause here and see what kinds of questions you might have. Also, what kinds of information would be helpful for you for future meetings. I know Nathan and our director, Angela, would be happy to work with Shelley Briley to bring that in the future.
Does anybody have any questions? You can go ahead and raise your hand, and then we can get you unmuted so that you can ask.
A copy of the high wage, high demand report is available via PDF either off the website, or Shelley can drop that into a future update. We have regular publications One of the other ways that you can stay in contact with this group is through our Constant Contact. So you can sign up and be part of the monthly newsletter. That's another option. I can have Shelley provide that information to you. Lots of great data on what's going on in the labor market, specifically areas in which there is a high demand, but we're struggling with filling those positions, which many of you might be in that position. Anyone here used our LMIS service previously or finding themselves really struggling with filling a particular occupation?
Looks like we do have a question on here. Do you plan on sharing this with high schools?
We have, or the LMIS team does have, a very active program. So let me share my screen. So maybe what would be helpful would be a little tour. So let me share real quick. It's actually a really interesting website to look around in. So I'm going to go off camera here. So if you look at the general website, you're going to go here and you're going to go to Kansas Labor Information Center, right? And this is the website. If you look at this section here called Today's Occupations, Tomorrow's Opportunities, this is really the main area for looking at career building and a lot of the tools that we use with educators. We also are building out a new tool, hopefully will be done by the fall. But in clicking into here, right, so this gives you career exploration resources. So teachers, educators, students can use this. We also have information on apprenticeships, Career One Stop. You go down here and it talks a little bit about occupational wage statistics, what the employment outlook is for other areas. Again, back to high demand occupations. One of the things that's really important that we found, and especially in talking with young people, is where are the jobs headed, right? Where are the jobs that are in high demand? We talked a little bit about Today's Occupations, which is the report that Nathan talked a little bit about. We also have career posters. This is a particularly interesting one. This obviously mimics the periodic table, but it talks about science, technology, engineering, math, and STEM occupations in Kansas. Or you can select any poster you want. So you can go into health and biosciences, work your way down. And they've developed this. A lot of these posters are developed internally. The other thing you might want to look at too is this kdol.laborstats@ks.gov. Any question that you might have, right? You can click on this and ask for assistance, and this team is really great in getting back, usually within 3 days. If they can't find the information, they're very good at pointing you in the right direction. But to your question, yes, they are very active. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the JAG program, and that program works closely with kids in high school and early years of college, and does a lot of interactive internships and information. And so I know that those folks have worked closely with that group as well. Nathan, anything else that you can think of in terms of the kinds of work that the LMIS team has been doing in the career development and navigation area?
Yeah, so I know that we've been attending some career fairs and things like that. So kind of just getting out to the students, direct outreach. And then of course we're working on the tool, the Why I Work tool based off of New Mexico's, which will allow students or really anybody to just go through, select like sort of lifestyle they want, want to have a car, rent or own a home. Do you want to eat out a lot, eat at home a lot, that sort of thing. Go through that and it'll, spit out like the amount of money you would need to fund that lifestyle, and then provide you with some occupation options that would allow you to make that wage. And then these students or job seekers can go through those and sort of see what interests them. So I think that's going to be a big hit when it's ready.
And one of the things I'm doing is, as I'm sharing, I'm also clicking through when you get to Kansas career posters. The information provided here will let you know if the job is considered high demand, high wage. It would also give you the median annual wage, which is the median annual wage for the state of Kansas based on that data. Architecture and construction, right? What is a typical construction worker make? Some mason. This information ties back to the report that Nathan talked about. There's just a lot of information in this website, So I encourage you to spend some time. We do special reports. I know Nathan just completed a report recently on women in the workforce, an analysis of the female labor force in post-COVID Kansas. So this was really a very informative piece. He's going to be doing one of these, or the labor economist team will be doing one of these every quarter. And often these are laid out very easily in terms of being able to take teams through it. If you find a report that you like and you want Nathan or someone from the team to walk a group from your company or a group from whatever special interest groups you might have, he'd be happy to do that. And basically just laying out the issue, laying out what the labor force participation looks like in Kansas, and then laying out many of the basic fundamental information pieces and how you look at labor data. Any more questions? Be happy to answer. You've got Nathan here. You've got lots of good resources.
So Michael here, I just wanted to test.
Oh, we can hear you.
So, and thank Jessica Porter. She figured it out on the fly. That's not easy to do. And it wasn't so much that I had anything of great importance, but by being the guinea pig to test the mic and the camera, maybe that opens the door for other questions. I did want to say a quick thanks for the platform and the overview that was offered. It is something that's of value to us in the healthcare realm, being able to walk through those different, and it is a wealth of information. So my compliments and thank you. And again, thanks for providing the platform.
Well,
Thanks,
it's a
Michael.
terrific team. It's a terrific team, and they are always eager to help. And I think sometimes people don't always know that it's there, that it's free, and then how much it connects the business community with the education community and with government and other agencies. So it's important. So one of the other things I wanted to mention is often you will be asked for information from the Bureau of Labor Statistics or from the Labor Market Information Services. So one of the things that we do is an occupational wage survey. The data that is provided that gives good information across the state on what the median wage is and other related information is based off completing those surveys. So if you have influence or if you yourself are someone who completes those surveys, thank you. It's incredibly important that we get those surveys returned. And we always want to make sure that our employer partners are aware of how much the information they provide is used and then shared across all of the industry. So, well, if no more questions, I'll wrap that up and turn this back to Shelley. Again, thank to Nathan, and I hope you will take advantage of the offer to assist or provide additional information. And I look forward to seeing and talking. If there are other areas with regards to Department of Labor you guys are interested in learning about, just let me know. I'd be happy to coordinate. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Amy. And Nathan, I appreciate your input as well. So next, we just have a few minutes left. I just wanted to revisit, we talked last time about the Safety and Health Conference and how we would like to have a little more visibility from our SHARP members. We are still looking for co-chairs for some of the safety and health tracks. I talked to Dina and she said she hadn't heard from anybody to volunteer on that. So please, if anybody feels comfortable with that, if you'd like to, even if you just like some more information, let us know and we'll get working with you on that. Alan, did you have anything else that you wanted to add?
No, I don't think so. I did post a link in the chat on occupational safety and health numbers that are on the LMIS website that kind of gives you an idea of fatal and non-fatal accidents and injuries in the state of Kansas, and it has multiple years listed, and you can look them up by NAICS code, and kind of gives you an idea of where you stand in your industry, which, you know, is one of the things we talk about anyway when we come out and do a SHARP renewal or an initial SHARP visit is, you know, where your DART and TRC rates compared to other industries or other companies in the same industry. So So that's out there as well. Yes, other than that, we are moving forward with our safety and health conference. It will be kind of a Las Vegas themed, don't gamble with safety. So we've got some pretty good things coming up with that. You're really going to see a lot of flyers and advertisement as we move forward. And so again, it's our big deal. It's our our annual conference, and we're really excited about it this year. So looking forward to the first couple of days in October down in Wichita.
Okay, great. Thank you, Alan. So everybody, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I think next week we will send out another survey like we did last time. We would really like some feedback as far as, what you liked, what you didn't like, what we can do different or better next time. I don't have a date yet for our next meeting, but I think that doing this at least quarterly is what seems to be what everybody wants to do. So probably sometime in July will be our next one, and I'll be getting that set up and send out that information to you. So everybody enjoy your weekend. It's Friday afternoon, so go wrap things up. And if you need anything from me, as always, you know where to find me. So thanks, everybody. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Shelley.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
Thank you.